So go ahead.
How do you feel about Malcolm X?
I don't know a lot about Malcolm X, but what I do know is I like his beliefs. I like his pride, his black pride. And I've really never studied a lot about Malcolm X, but just know that what he stands for, what I know about him is good.
All
That's
right.
it.
And then if you were alive right now, how do you think you'd feel about our country?
I think that he would not be totally happy
Okay.
because I still think there is a lot of work to do,
Yes, sir.
and I think that he would, be great to still be alive and to get this country where he and Martin Luther King wanted to go.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Jayon, how do you feel about Malcolm X?
I feel like he's a great leader. I don't really know too much about him,
All
but
right.
I know that he was for the black people.
He was for the black people.
He helped. He made the white man.
All right.
I'm Catherine. I'm a senior, and a fun fact about me is that I really like to hike.
All right.
Um,
How do you feel about Malcolm X?
I feel like Malcolm X really supports the conversation of how violence is necessary for change to happen.
All right. And how do you think, if he was alive today, how do you think he would feel about our presidency and Trump?
I feel like he would be very angry, and there would be a lot more protests going on.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Trevino, and I teach physics and microbiology. And a fun fact about me is I really like riding roller coasters.
All right, cool. Do you know anything about Malcolm X, and how do you feel about him?
So I think Malcolm X was a very influential person, and I think that is why he's dead,
Oh.
because he went against the system.
Okay.
Okay.
And if he was alive today, do you think he would be? How do you think he would feel about where we are now?
I think he would be shocked at what has become of the presidency, because to me this is a serious problem. I am not a Trump supporter, and did I like Obama? Very much so. I think that if he were alive, he would be pretty upset about how things turned out, because it's I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you.
I'm Drayden Hoover. I'm a freshman. And a fun fact about myself is I'm white.
Great. How do you feel about Malcolm X, and what do you know about him?
I feel that Malcolm X was influential to the advancement of black people in terms of his views and what he fought for. I know people thought that he was extreme, but he was just extreme for his time, and he gone too soon. So, RP.
All right. And if he was alive today, how do you think he'd feel about Trump and Black Lives Matter?
I think he would want the Black Lives Matter movement to be more extreme and more action-packed,
Come on.
maybe just more activist stuff. So, I feel like he would mess with Trump, he would condemn that and do anything to rebel against him. So that's what I think, probably.
All right. Thank you.
Alright, I'm Mr. G, and there are no fun facts about me. Fun fact.
No fun facts. Okay. Well, how do you feel about Malcolm X?
Malcolm X was one of my idols growing up. Still is. I enjoyed learning about his fight for civil rights and the way he looked at the world and the way he grew as a man. I think one of the most powerful things about Malcolm X is he was able to admit when he was wrong about something because he had been misled, and was willing to actually vocalize that.
All right. If he was still alive today, how do you think he'd look at our fight, the way we push through his teachings?
I think it'd be interesting. It's hard to try and mix the generations because of the advancement of technology. I mean, if you look at the civil rights movement in general, it would look completely different if you start to include social media. So it's hard to say what things would look like, but I think as a whole, the movements that we're seeing around the country, especially right now, aren't as organized because we don't have leaders like a Malcolm X, like Martin Luther King, like a Huey P. Newton, and so there's a lot of disorganization. But I think if Malcolm X was around today, you'd see a lot more organization in terms of how protests are being orchestrated.
All right, thank you. That's very interesting. Last thing, could you tell us a little bit more about your Try Me Malcolm X 1963 T-shirt?
So Malcolm X was very blunt about whatever he was feeling, and it was one of those things where he believed he was right to the point where if you disagree with him, you can try and argue with him, and that's where the try me comes into play.
Okay.
Where it's, if you disagree with me, you can try and argue this with me, but you're going to lose.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
So, how do you feel about Malcolm X?
To me, Malcolm X is everything. He's my hero. Like everything that he stood for, I agree with his values and the things that he was trying to get accomplished. I think that he doesn't get enough credit as for what he did for Black people. So that's how I stand with that.
So, where do you think we are right now with his teachings and the way he fought for our freedom?
Well, I think that, like I said, he doesn't get enough credit. I think that especially in this country, people look to him and they see violence and they see militancy, but I see it as more by any means necessary. Really meant by any means necessary. He helped us not only like physically, like in California, but also.
We're just showing our teacher.
I know, my history is terrible and I don't know that much. That's the problem.
It's a lot of teachers don't know.
I know, isn't it sad? We only know our own subjects.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to be very good because I don't, honestly, like since I took it in high school, I don't really remember it. So I don't really have much of an opinion right now. Unless I went and like looked it up. That's the problem.